So I want to go on the record and say that I was incorrect.
Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a
I thought it was
very
AI at
temporary
first.
basis to speak on behalf of the 300
It's totally
plus
real.
employees.
Ran at this thing at like 65 miles an hour and it completely wrecked the car.
Yeah. Sightbox, unbox, where we open the door. New podcast.
Welcome to BOXPOD episode 3.
Yes.
BOXPOD. This is season 2, episode 3. My name is Charlie.
I'm Nathan.
And we're back.
We're back.
And 3 weeks in a row.
I know.
Not bad.
I know.
We're on a bit of a roll here, but we do need to start with a little bit of a, we'll call it a correction video.
Yes.
So
Mea culpa. So
first of all, tell us about the clip that went semi-viral.
yeah. So apparently
27.7 thousand views, which for us is quite a bit.
yes,
Right?
but it's all rage baited.
Rage baited to tell us what you said and then
So
out what the truth is.
So I want to go on the record and say that I was incorrect. I was incorrect about the Cybertruck and its ability to power share. Okay, so I was wrong. I did not know of that ability until it was too late. So now I've been educated, and I want to thank all the Tesla fans out there. I am a Tesla shareholder.
You are.
And have been for quite a while.
I'm a Tesla owner.
And you're a Tesla owner.
You're a
So we do not hate on. We don't hate the company.
No.
And we're not here to spread any FUD in the market. So I would say this. I think it's great that Tesla's sort of adding that feature, and it was very wise of them to do it. And I look forward to them adding it to the other cars.
100%.
So that's it.
Just for kicks and giggles.
Yeah, for kicks though.
We've got 70 comments. Obviously, we know that
I could do the thing where I read them out loud. Like
a good dozen of them were blocked.
Oh God.
For profanity. But let's start with just some fun ones here. I mean, obviously, the people are just kind of correcting.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Teslas literally do this. My Cybertruck powers my house during power outages. Let's see. Who the hell can be bothered worrying about all that? Okay. Dude, the Cybertruck does this.
Dude, yes.
It's called Power Share. Literally the same outlet that charges the truck can run the house. Cybertruck. Actually, the funnier comments are the ones that got blocked. So how do I go to those? Anyways, there's like 70 comments here.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. I think I texted you and Zach some of the fun ones, which were fake podcasts saying fake things. Fake. Bro is struggling to explain basic concepts. Cybertruck does this, dumbass. No one cares what you want.
Nobody cares.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This is blatantly wrong.
Blatantly wrong.
So they
all right. Oh. I apologize too.
Record is corrected. Cybertruck will do it. Anyways, it's fun. It's fun to see the engagement. Obviously, I'm not on TikTok ever, and so I don't really.
I haven't been in a while. But hey, it's all good. There's a lesson to be learned here, and I don't know if you know this, but one of the founders of Wikipedia, they struggled for a long time to figure out how to get people to post stuff on Wikipedia, and they've realized that one of the best things to do was just post the wrong information, and that people would come. They were like 10 times more likely to fix something that was wrong than offer up something that wasn't there. So there's this thing where they sort of,
people love to correct.
People love to correct.
Yeah.
They love to be right.
Yeah.
All right. So they love to be right more than they like to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
So if you work that psychology, that's
sure.
So all we have to do is be wrong.
Let's
and we're going to get all the clicks.
Incorrect things.
Yeah.
And then the engagement will go up.
Yeah.
because people will want to correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when it comes to Tesla or...
Oh yeah. Well, and there's a lot of stuff. I remember being a big fan of, or not a big fan, but I remember watching there's a real Tesla subreddit. I'm sure it's still out there, but it was basically like everybody out to get Elon and Tesla. And, it was a lot of stuff. And remember, Tesla was shorted.
Oh yeah.
For a long time.
Bill Gates, remember that whole thing?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, and so there's been a lot of like a concerted effort to sort of, nip at them.
Yeah.
So I get it. Anyway.
What's the stock at today?
I have an idea. Let's find out.
A good, let's see. Let's ask. What's the Tesla stock at? 321.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
That's pretty good. Their sales have been down a bit. They're talking about anyway, I don't want to get into it because I don't want to get it wrong.
I've been hearing people say that the new Model Y is probably one of their best.
Is it?
Yeah. One
Okay.
of their best cars.
Well, and I saw a thing where they're adding a third row.
Yeah, and it's slightly
longer.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll have room for that third row.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy Gabriel has the third row, but it's that third row that has this much
Yeah.
room in the back, right?
Right.
But he uses it for the car seats, and it's enough for the kids' legs to fit. But then it allows adults
Yeah.
to then sit in the back.
Dude, I remember a friend of ours had the Model S with the backs. Do you ever see the back seats? The Model S came with an Yes, the Model S came with an option. They were rear facing. And
Really?
they were almost in the trunk area. So you could see, and so our friends had this thing, and we'd drop our kids off around the same time, and both of their kids would be in the back, like waving out the window, like out the rear window.
Yes, Model S third row. Oh shoot!
Yeah, there it is. It straps them in the trunk.
That is crazy.
Isn't that crazy? But not a dumb idea.
No.
And yeah, so our friends, we'd be driving along and we'd see them they'd be looking out the window, out the rear windows, waving.
So you had to custom order that.
Yeah, it didn't come base. Yeah, it didn't.
That is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I think the new Model Y is just an extra row.
That's right.
That's added to the back.
Yeah.
But the Model Y, the Juniper, those are the reviews I've been seeing.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I just saw a tweet from Chamath this morning that said, let's see if I can find it. It said something, he kind of named off all the cars he's had. And of course, they're all these bougie cars. And then he says the Model Y is the best car I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah. So it's this Model Y, yeah.
This is the new trim, right? The new version?
Yeah, and you can spot them kind of out there in the wild from the back. Like it's just so
you can see the headlight wraps around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool design.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got this new light sync. Have you seen this?
No.
There's this new feature, and I haven't figured out how to get it on mine because I do have the latest update.
Yeah.
But the light sync, you know how my car has the little strip, the LED strip around the console or whatever? You can change the color, right?
Okay.
But you got to manually go in and set the color, or you can do like a rainbow thing where it kind of pulsates through different colors. But this new light sync syncs the light to the audio.
Oh, come on.
And the album
Nah.
So the album cover's red. It can be in that red theme, and then it pulsates and changes color based on the beat. And so I saw a few people post it on YouTube. It looks super cool. I just haven't been able to enable it because for whatever reason, I don't have that feature. But it's just such a fun freaking thing.
It's coming, man. Yeah, that's crazy. I love it.
And we haven't made it out to the Tesla diner yet. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
From what I see online, it's still chaotic.
Yeah.
I'll try to get in there.
Yeah.
Hollywood, and it's open 24 hours a day. I'd have to go at like
Really?
morning
Oh my gosh.
to get in, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll try it again when it's
But we'll do it.
some of the hype
We'll
side.
definitely do it. Let's talk about this astronomer
Yeah.
video that came out.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, just go to Astronomer on X, or I'm sure you can Google it.
Yeah.
But basically, it's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a
I thought it was
very
AI at
temporary
first.
basis to speak on
Yeah.
behalf of the 300
totally
plus
real.
employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones. Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow, unifying the
Apache
experience of running
Airflow.
data, ML, AI pipelines at scale. We've been thrilled so many people have a newfound interest in data workflow automation. As for the other questions we've received, yes, there is still room available at our
cuts off
Beyond
before
Analytics event in
the question's
September.
done.
We will now be returning to what we do best, delivering game-changing results for our customers. Thank you for your interest in Astronomer.
Isn't that great?
That's so good.
What a great response.
So good. So good. And I love the fact that they like it's done. It's so blatantly a promotional video.
Yeah.
It's got the cheesy music playing, the stage setup, it's so well done.
Yeah, I mean, she's reading a prompter.
Yeah.
You know?
She doesn't know it. She's talking about running Apache at scale. You know what I mean? She doesn't know what she's talking about, but I love that, that's that's the message.
Yeah.
And they snuck that in, and it's honestly, it's just straight comedy. It feels almost like a SNL skit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like one step away from that.
Yeah. That's funny, man. 37 million views.
Yeah.
How's that for a company response to all the chaos
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wild.
I mean, honestly, and maybe the theme of today's show is there's that line of, there's no such thing as bad press, right? Here we're trying to, we're spinning our little faux pas. You've got Astronomer doing the same thing, and then we were talking about the American Eagle thing going on now. And there's all
we were talking about the contrast of press, right?
Yes.
In a sense where it's we know the fringe minority is loud.
Sure.
So, I mean, you kind of said it, the way it was, which is it's kind of poking at them a bit.
Sure. It's poking at anybody, right?
Right.
I think that's the even this Astronomer thing, it's sort of like they're owning it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's sort of this, that could have been they're just owning the controversy.
Yeah.
We're going to tell the story instead, and essentially it is we're going to get back to work, but we're good.
We acknowledge
something went down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Sort of,
Sort of, yeah.
As much as we probably legally can.
Yeah.
So, but I think there's what I was saying too is I think advertising has in I'd say, I don't know, the last 7-8 years, it's gotten really tame. It hasn't really made these sort of statements or tried to, where everyone's sort of afraid of being controversial. It wasn't always that way, but it has been sort of lately. And I think all of this is starting to you're starting to see, and I think now you're going to see it even more, right? Because now they're okay, not only does it work, but people are sort of okay, with us sort of, turning some of those knobs and poking some of those things. because I think most people understand it is just for advertising. It's just for attention, you know? And so I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see where this goes, because
it almost seems like the jeans ad was intentional that way, where it's like we know it's going to cause online, but it's good.
Well, yeah, they're like,
because now everyone's talking about that, a brand that really nobody talks about or hasn't in a long time, right?
Well, I mean, go look at,
and their stock went up.
Yes, their stock went up. But I mean, this is kind of the case. Fashion always loves these sort of controversies, right? Remember Abercrombie?
Sure.
And Fitch, you know? And their whole thing, all the models were shirtless, you know? And it was like this whole thing of like, it was amazing. I remember saying something like, you know, it's amazing how this company figured out the way to sell clothes is by showing people not wearing any, you know? And so there's this whole...
Are you not doing that anymore?
Oh, I'm sure they are. But now who cares? Right? Like they've kind of, that's sort of their thing.
Yeah.
And so, but you kind of have to do those sort of things to have a, you know, sort of a you know, to sort of be culturally relevant.
Yeah.
You know, you basically show you're aware, you know? I'm trying to think of other, you know, fashion brands back in the day. You know, you would have even like Cindy Crawford and stuff like that, you know, these big names where even having them be your spokesperson was sort of a thing, you know, because they were sort of known entities. It wasn't just a model. It was, you know, it was sort of what they represent. And so there's all these, I think it's really interesting to see sort of this, not sort of, like almost reaching for controversy a little bit to see what happens. And, I mean, as long as we'll find some people that are going to do it wrong and they're going to say, oh, that was a bad idea. But I think
Jaguar,
possibly Jaguar. Yeah. There was another one too. I forget which one it was, but yeah, Jaguar, I think, I'm not exactly sure what's happening there.
No one knows what that was.
I don't fully understand it.
Yeah. And they dialed it back, right?
I think they're working to undo it. So anyway, it's interesting stuff.
Do you have any wild car stories from
back in the day?
From filming or something? You talked about how you had to tell the animators of the car to stop adding the...
Oh yeah,
that was a good story.
Yeah, so we were doing a thing for Porsche. It was the launch of the Panamera.
Yeah.
And we had all these cars, these rendered cars, like a 911 and a Cayenne or something like that. Anyway, we had them like, and this is at the time, this is like Flash. These were Flash websites, by the way. So they were top tier, right? And they had the car come into frame and stop. And you're used to seeing these, you know, a car stop, it does the brake thing and it does this little like lunge, right? Because the wheels will stop, but the car will still move and it kind of does this little thing. Well, apparently Porsche actually has a thing on there in the brakes that will keep it from doing that wiggle. Like it'll just stop. And so we had to go back and re-render all the stuff to do it. I'll give it maybe something sort of semi-controversial, and I don't even know if it's even that great, but we did a commercial for Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, and the theme was, what was it? It was something like, don't be pretentious. It was sort of like the antithesis to pretentiousness. It was unpretentiousness was sort of the idea, which is sort of pretentious even saying it, but that was the idea. And 180 LA kind of ran with this thing and we were there to help. And the whole idea was we were going to make fun of the Lexus commercial. If you remember the early Lexus commercial where they had like some guy balancing champagne glasses on the hood.
Yeah.
You ever see that one?
Yeah.
And it's something like, you know, something about how well it runs. And there was sort of all these things. You're like running through like glass chandeliers and stuff, and really doing it though, like practically, like out in the desert, like we at the salt flats, we like ran into stuff, and they had this idea of doing the champagne glasses thing, but it would be like a tower of all these champagne glasses, and the Outlander Sport would like pile through it.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, super slow-mo, dramatic. And anyway, I don't know what went wrong. Either the thing was too tall or they didn't. And I think they used, there's these special kind of glasses that really shatter, they use them in like TV shows and fight scenes when people get smacked on the head. It's like this fake glass, sugar glass or whatever it is. I think everything was good, but it was just too big and they didn't figure out the physics of it, because at a certain size, like water has mass and weight. And so anyway, they ran at this thing at like 65 miles an hour and it completely wrecked the car. Like smashed it.
How many cars did you have?
2.
Oh, okay.
And we were supposed to give them back. Like it wasn't like there was no plans of this thing being totaled. They thought, oh, it'll just run into this and keep on going and nothing bad will happen. We ended up having in post-production, we ended up having to like recreate the car, because that was the end shot, was this thing smashing through, and we had to recreate the bumper and part of the front end, because as it hits, it just crushes it. So they had to like fake it. And I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, again, like in retrospect, why didn't we just we could have done that? CG was far enough along.
Yeah, right.
We could have done that and made it like super cinematic, right? Because at that point you can go any speed, you can do like 10 angles on that one thing and it all works. We had like 2 angles, 1 take, 1 car, and it didn't really work out. But
you had to set up that tower. Like, how long did that take?
Oh, I know. Yeah, right? Absolutely. And we're setting it up for burning daylight, that whole thing, and it's hotter than hell out there. We had to have their craft crew had to come around and giving us like those electrolyte pills
because it was too hot.
Because it was so hot.
You guys were getting dehydrated.
Oh, it was we're getting loony out there. It was crazy. I've never been that hot.
Where'd you shoot it at?
It was in some salt flats. I forget the name of them, but dude, we're on like the bumpy road.
California?
In California, yeah. But somewhere, and I guess it's a place people shoot commercials all the time. If you can tell if you ever look, because now whenever I see a commercial that has it, there's a small little like mountain ridge around it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that.
Well, think about now, because you have the models of the cars already.
Yeah.
Most production houses, right, will have this CAD or whatever you call it of the car, so they can make it any color or any trim they want.
Yeah.
And do whatever they want with it. But think of how expensive that is, because requires a CGI person, artist, go in and do this by hand.
Yes.
But now with AI, you're just going to need a reference shot.
The problem though, but the problem is, so one of the things, and I pitched Mitsubishi hard on, there's a couple vendors that did specifically this, like created these 3D models. They would even go so far as to, they would do this mapping. So you could put like this camera type thing. It would do a 360 photo around it, and then it would put it in the reflection. So the reflections would match what was outside. So it looked flawless. It looked like it was actually there. But it was it was a substantial investment to begin per vehicle. But I told him, I was like, but at that point, your cost per shot is a fraction, They
didn't want to pay the upfront money.
No, they just felt like it wasn't worth the investment. I was like, man, we could control this whole thing. We could put this car anywhere.
But you're saying you don't think AI can be able to get there?
I'll say this, just because those guys when we were doing stuff, I'm trying to think an example, that they do a lot of changes. So if you see like a commercial will be on, sometimes you'll see a disclaimer at the bottom that'll say like early model shown or something, because sometimes they'll shoot these commercials with a car with different options than actually goes to production. So they have to disclaim and say, this car's, that little fender thing or this little thing, these are options that aren't actually available, and they have to say that because then it can be considered false advertising.
Right.
So the only thing I would be concerned about is like if the AI were to sort of embellish something, or you know what I mean, render something not accurate, it would potentially cause some issue. But not to say that it won't get there.
Right.
I'm sure it will. But yeah, it's crazy the way, I mean, even what's crazier too is the companies have the CAD models. Like you don't even, because they're using them for design, you know? So all they have to do is throw a texture on it and
right. And that
call it a day.
I guess maybe where my mind is going is, why can't you train a model to learn how to read those things?
Yes.
Right. And convert them. Because right now it's really just taking a reference flat image and then doing something with it. Right. I mean, we saw today that runway feature I showed you guys where it was creating different angles.
Yeah.
From one shot.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how?
Yeah.
Because it's trying to make up the rest, right? Based on what it's seen in one angle. But yeah, if you could feed it and train it to like know every feature, I mean, why not throw the blueprints in there, you know, of the car or whatever?
Yeah.
Like
That's
really understand and know this thing. And then prompt it. The problem is probably computing. Like, you know, we keep hearing about energy and all this stuff, and I'm just like, man, like NVIDIA can build forever, right? But who's going to be able to power all this stuff, right? The more crazier these models get, you're like, okay, now we can render full 4K video, you know, whatever you want, or do these massive computing, you know, things. And it's like, okay, but do we have the energy
to
be able to, to have these things run these computations? Like, I don't know that we do.
Yeah.
Who's investing in that stuff?
Well, there was I think I read
besides China.
Yeah, I think there was a thing I read that said Microsoft, they're building a new data center up in the northwest, and with the data center is a power plant. And I think there's also talk of bringing nuclear back. You know, so, and honestly, I think nuclear deserves a second shot. I really do, especially if it's smaller. I think that the problem with some of these big, huge reactors is they're just too big and too huge. But if you can make them smaller,
well, the problem with nuclear too is it's just, you know, it freaks people out.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you just think of a bomb.
Yes.
And these are, I mean, these are different things, you know, like nuclear has been used for energy creation, you know, in the past successfully, and people are doing it today, just not us.
Yeah.
Or we might have some, right?
Some, but most of them are being decommissioned.
Yeah.
You know, but like Europe they've embraced it, but they don't build huge reactors like people like you used to. I think that's the key. In fact, I foresee a day, this might be crazy, but either nuclear fusion will happen and then everything changes. But with the idea of a home, this might sound crazy, but a home reactor. So if you think of something like the size of like a water heater, right? With a little ounce of plutonium in there, because that's all it is, right? It just gets really hot. Boils water. That's all it's doing, is boiling water like a water heater does. But you have this plutonium that's, you know, small enough that it's not like causing damage, you know, and even if it's exposed, like, you know, like, or it's some way of containing it that, like, you know, it's safe. And it just stays in there. And then you can have these sort of power generators anywhere. That's it. And they just run off water, and it can cycle it through. Or it could be your water heater.
Are you telling me that this sucker's nuclear?
1.3 gigawatts?
The sucker's electrica. You need 1.21 gigawatts to generate the kind of electricity.
Oh, shoot.
I got a plutonium box right over
there. I know, man. Where's Mr. Fusion, bro? Where's Mr. Fusion?
Fusion's over there. Yeah. Man.
Someday.
Yeah. You never know. So we talked a little bit about purpose market fit
Mm-hmm.
last week. Wow.
Hey.
Gang. And we've been putting it into practice.
Yes.
And we've been working with an agentic AI marketplace. What would you call that?
Yeah. We'll call it
I feel like agentic AI is like I feel like I'm saying AI twice.
you kind of are.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like saying an ATM machine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's it.
AGI marketplace.
Yes.
And so we think of it, in terms of like an app store or something, and they've got over 2 million agents on there already.
Yeah.
But they need branding and the story to tell.
They do.
Because it's very tech focused. It's very insider. And so how has this purpose market fit helped kind of that strategy as we're kind of going through it right now?
Yeah. So one of the things that's been really interesting with it is we've really been focusing on this idea of conviction.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really interesting about sort of setting our focus on that is we're really helping the client sort of understand where not only do they need to be, but where they need to stay, because with all this sort of AI stuff, especially when we're talking about an agentic economy, right? We're not quite there yet, right? We're sort of at the beginning stages of that economy and this idea of these customers coming in. And so you sort of play this game a little bit of, well, where do you want to be, right? And you have to sort of think of it almost like real estate. Like there's a boom town that's happening, right? And you want to sort of figure out, where do I build? What is coming? And you can't, if you build too close, you have to kind of get something smaller, and it might be profitable, but you don't know, right? You're sort of playing with, you don't know. Whereas, some brands want to be ambitious. They need a lot of space. They want to own a big chunk of this future market, but they have to go a little further out, and the crowds aren't there yet, right? So you're almost like, you're thinking ahead. You're like, in 5 years, this piece of land right here is going to be very valuable. But right now, nobody really cares, right? And so what it really takes is that fortitude to say, this is the right thing to do. And we need to do it now. Like, we can't build a company. We can't build something else that will attract people if it's not the right people and the right thing. It'll be harder to switch it and convince people of something later than it is to just hold our ground and know that people will arrive at the right time. And so part of what we're focusing on is building that conviction so that they know that, we're built for the future. And we say this a lot of times with the companies we work with. You don't want to build the brand or a website for who you are today. That's kind of a waste, because it's already sort of obsolete. You want to be looking to, what are you going to be? What kind of clients do you want to be attracting? And build for that, so that when when it becomes time, it makes sense. It's all aligned. And so that's what's been kind of interesting, because there's this tension, right, between, well, we want action now versus we need to stay where we're at out here in the boonies of the industry, wait it out until people come and have the right thing when they're ready. So yeah, it's been interesting, and that this process has been really key in laying that foundation. And so I'm really thrilled with it. It's been fun.
And how's it been different? Obviously, we've been doing this kind of brand development for years now, but how's it been different doing this versus not doing it?
That's a good question. One of the things that's been interesting is, again, focusing on conviction versus conversion or customers, those sort of things, because we're so early that it's premature to sort of be building that brand side of it. We're focused more on the business. And typically, though, a lot of the times when we get clients, like, the expectation is, oh, you're going to work on our brand, and it's going to be this beautiful thing. And what's interesting is with this kind of stuff is we're more focused on being very strategic about, I mean, yes, we're building a brand, but it's a specific brand for this specific use. And so it doesn't follow some of the typical conventions of, just sort of the way it talks and communicates. It has to sort of be more future facing. And so, so that sort of helped us, I think, differentiate from other competitors, but also from how I think a lot of other people were going to approach this market. Other competitors are going to either try to find the quick fix, the easy win right now, or they're going to overshoot and try to say that there's something bigger than they really are. Whereas I think what we're doing is sort of finding that real nice middle where we know exactly who we are and we're standing right here where we need.
Right. I mean, even the client even said, right, in the feedback, we're Google.
Yeah.
And then, you can say that, and you can say that to us.
Yes.
But you can't just say, I'm competing with Google.
Right. Right.
That's overshooting.
Right. So we have to sort of find what is it that we're really, where we can actually own, what we can own.
Yeah.
Because Google will still be Google.
Sure.
In 5 years.
Yeah.
And so, you need to find what is it that's ownable.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. It's obviously we mentioned in the past that we want to put together more content around it.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everyone's going to come through as a client and kind of go through this process, but we can put it into a form that's digestible, like kind of a self-serve, at least to guide you a little bit, and we can probably get it into some kind of book or series format.
Yeah, I think I've been actually thinking about
toyed around with the idea of a book for a couple of years.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of actually putting out some sort of free guides, sort of overviews of some of this thinking to kind of get people started. And
we should definitely do that and train our own AGIs.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
To sort of learn this stuff so we can scale.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the idea too. We've already been kind of doing part of the brand index stuff we've been doing and purpose market fit.
Yes.
Right. And so we've developed, a set of tools to help us.
Yeah. A bunch of different frameworks.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a hack in a way when we're doing the client interviews, we'll call them, because we do have our note takers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Taking notes. And so we have a full transcript that we can interact with. Mm-hmm. It's not just plain text, but has context that we can then feed into our, models that are kind of learning these methods that we're developing. And it's helping us really shape this stuff. So it doesn't land on, just you or someone else on our team. It's literally like we can scale infinitely by doing it this way.
That's right.
Super cool.
That's right. It's fun.
Peach is barking at the door.
Yeah.
So let's run the base here. I've got a side project that I'm working on.
You do, yes.
I was rocking the shirt last week.
There you go.
The mic probably doesn't pick it up, right? The barking.
Not too much. Okay.
Peach is barking.
Guard dog.
Oh, surprise!
Oh,
don't cut the cameras. You gotta keep this in here.
Oh, come on!
Time
for your debut.
Bring me.
Time for your debut.
Bring me.
Oh.
Wow! Look at this.
Yes.
Look at this.
Look. Stealing the show.
This is James Castro. This is my grandson.
Yeah.
This is the future of Sightbox, right?
There he is.
Right?
Your first podcast, bro.
Podcast. In 7 months.
Eat it. You
want to say hi? Anyways, I messed up the mic.
Uh-oh.
I'll just hold it. Hi. Hi.
Oh.
So I was rocking the shirt last week.
Yes.
Xoomo. Xoomo.
What was that all about?
Xoomo. And we'll pull it up. Zach will pull it up on the screen here. This is an idea I've had in my head for probably 10 years that I only started working on a couple months ago. And again, I only started doing it because of all these tools, these AI tools we have, right?
Yeah. Like what if, right?
Yeah, what if? So I started chatting with my agent about ways to sort of put this thing together. And basically, it's a real pro wrestling league that fuses Olympic style wrestling with sumo push out rules, but on an elevated, shrinking mat.
Yeah.
So imagine Olympic size mat. When the match starts, there's 3 rounds in wrestling, and then when you get to the second round, the mat elevates and shrinks a little bit.
Yep.
So the push out zone is more apparent.
Smaller.
Then it's smaller.
Yeah.
And so then you get to round 3. Yeah. You like it? So imagine round 3 and you've got this even smaller mat that's elevated 10 feet now up in the air. And these are Olympic like caliber world-class athletes that would be competing. And so we put it out there. We did some branding, through the agency and made an AI video, put it out there just to see. And we got some interest from some interesting folks. Let me try and...
You want me to help you?
Pull it up on the there you go. There you go. Yeah. No. See what you do? Totally worth it. Totally worth it. There you go. Passing the kid around here.
Yeah, but not spotlight yet.
All right, so here it is. Let me screen share here for you, Zach. Oh. Look at that. Wrestling with an edge. Dude. Look at this trailer.
This is not a show. This is real wrestling. World-class freestyle athletes. Olympic pedigree. Raised 10 feet high. No ropes, no scripts. Just pressure. Precision. High stakes. Xoomo. Wrestling with an edge. This is not a show.
So they're wrestling with an edge.
Dang.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
So we'll see what happens. We've got the rules of engagement all trademark, copyrighted.
Amazing.
Obviously the brand. And we're kind of excited about it. Here's some folks that have expressed some interest or have said some nice words about it. There's some Olympic...
It's crazy.
Olympic gold medalists here on this list. I've had a couple meetings with UFC legend Frank Shamrock, who really likes the idea and trying to figure out if we can do something together, which is cool. And then I've gotten some hate too. Yeah, buddy. I've gotten some hate from a guy you may or may not know named Chael Sonnen, media mogul. I tried to find the worst picture I could find of him.
Shoot.
Look at this quote. Look at this quote.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, I don't care.
That.
I don't care. He also called me a BS artist, which I'm going to get a shirt printed up that says BS artist. But yeah, there's some folks here who have, showed some interest. So be on the lookout for that. This is more of a passion project.
That's peaceful.
That we're working on, and we're excited about it. So
Love it.
check out ZoomoWrestling.com or Xoomo Wrestling on social media. And it's a little chaotic here in the office, so we're going to end this episode with James. Yeah.
Take us home, James. Yeah.
Take us out.
Woo! And scene.
Scene. See you guys later. Peace.
Sightbox, unbox, where we open the door. New podcast dropping like never before. Tapping AI, here we got the cure. Founders for founders, the vision is pure.